Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, Dr. Haider Shah. On behalf of Kawas, I would like to welcome all of you to this webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we have another very interesting topic, and I'm really honored to welcome and introduce our distinguished guest speaker who is going to talk about building authority and visibility. Indeed, you can create your authority and visibility by your speaking skills and social skills. But how do we do it? What things need to be considered? And how can we develop these skills? Really very interesting topic, and I'm sure you will learn a lot from this session as we have an expert with us who is going to share wonderful best insights, right guidance, and suggestion about all these things. So stay tuned because an amazing stuff are coming ahead in this session. So before we start, I would like to thank Kalwas for arranging such enlightenment sessions for their support and providing us such a wonderful platform. The aim of Kalwas is to give you the opportunity to connect and interact with world-renowned speakers, academic leaders, teachers, authors, researchers, experts, professionals, and businessmen to learn from their experiences, recommendations, and suggestions which will create an impact and will enable you to learn and develop yourself in order to grow and transform individually as well as to contribute to the world in a positive way. As our slogan is come, learn, and share knowledge. So today we have an amazing person as guest. She's a great human being and is passionate to contribute to the world by transforming the lives of the people in a way to perform better. Moreover, she is always ready to share her knowledge on different platforms to contribute to the world in a positive way. So let me introduce her formally. She is the founder of the Speak Right with the Ruth Consult and Services. She is the lead trainer at the Speak Right with the Ruth forum, Speak with Eloquence. She consults for schools and corporate firms on English dictation and effective communication. She's a certified English dictation coach and seasoned public speaker. She has authored two books in the area of spoken English and has trained many people become a better version of themselves through the eloquent speech. She hopes to transform as many people as possible to the high equivalent speaker in the English language. Last but not least, she's a wonderful speaker, author, teacher, professional, and above everything, she's a great human being. So please help me in welcoming our guest, Ruth EKIKO. Welcome to the Carlos platform, and thank you very much for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Haider. Thank you and good afternoon from Nigeria to all that are listening to me. It's so good to be on the show, on this program with you all. So, once again, I am Ruth Ekiko, and today I have the privilege of talking about you. Yes, talking about you, talking
It's
about
really
you
pleasure to have you, and
and
over to you, ma'am, please. Thank you.
okay. All right, thank you, sir. All right, so yes, I said that today we have the opportunity to talk about you as a brand and how you can build authority and visibility through communication, presentation, and public speaking. So you'll get to see the beautiful connection between public speaking, communication, and presentation, and how these three beautiful aspects can help you build authority and visibility. So, the structure of topics for today would get to know what communication is, what presentation is, what public speaking is. Then we'll look at visibility. What does it mean to be visible? What does it mean for your brand to be visible? And what's the importance of visibility to you and your brand? We'll also get to look at the importance of communication, the importance of public speaking in brand building, in authority, and in visibility. So everything about today is will be focused on you and how you can use communication to get better. So first of all, let's look at what communication is all about. I'm sure that you may have been hearing, of course, you've been hearing of the word communication, 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 and you may be wondering of what use is communication to us in this webinar. Well, we'll get to look at it much later as we progress. So communication, as we all know, is the imparting or the exchanging of information by speaking, by writing, or by using any other medium. So when you get to exchange information, when you get to write, when you get to speak, like what I'm doing right now, I'm communicating with you. Okay, I am imparting information to you, and if you were to be here with me, then we would have to exchange information. Or when we get to the question and answer session, there will be that exchange of information by speaking. So yes, that is what communication is all about. Now, it is different from presentation. Now, let's look at the difference. What is presentation? While communication is the imparting or exchanging of information, presentation are the communication tools that can be used to impart information. Now, these tools could be demonstrations, they could be lectures, they could be speeches, they could be reports, but these tools are mostly presented before an audience. So right now, you can hear me speak. I am communicating with you. Through what medium? If you're watching me from YouTube, then it will be through the YouTube medium. If you're on StreamYard, then it's going to be through the StreamYard medium. Or you can look at my slides and say that, okay, this slide of hers is her communication tool for the purpose of this webinar. So that you get to see what presentation is. It's not communication, but it's the tools that you use for communication. Then public speaking. Simply, public speaking is the act of speaking in public or speaking to a public audience. So if you want to marry everything I've said so far, you get to see that right here, right now, I am doing 3 of them at the same time. I am communicating with you. I am presenting what I have to say to you, and I'm speaking to you, and thousands or hundreds of others are listening to me. That is my public audience. So I've been able to beautifully marry communication, presentation, and public speaking. Now, what is brand authority? How can you use communication, public speaking, and presentation to get a brand authority? We're talking about authority and visibility. What do these terms even mean? Brand authority, first of all, is the extent to which your customers trust your brand. It's one thing to have a brand, it's another for your customers, it's another for those that you're projecting your business to or projecting yourself to trust that brand. So the moment they get to trust you as a brand or view your business as an expert in your space or your niche, then and then alone can you say that you have gotten to brand authority. But then you can't have brand authority without visibility. I'll take that again. You can't have brand authority without visibility. Now that takes us to what exactly is visibility. Of course, we all know that when we say we want something to be visible, it means we want that thing to be seen or heard. So visibility is a state of being able to see or be seen. And in this case, we want you to be seen. So this webinar will focus on how you can be seen, on how your business can be seen, on how your brand can be heard and seen. There's a lot of things that visibility can do for you. First of all, you need to know that it is like a marketing plan. Visibility is like a marketing plan, okay, where you get to get closer to your goals. So it helps you get closer to your goals. That is what visibility does for you. It makes people see you. Don't take that lightly. For you to be a brand, for you to be visible, you need to put yourself out there to be seen. People need to see you. They need to know what you are doing and how you are doing it. They need to be given the opportunity to interact, to engage, and finally to purchase. So take note of those three things. There has to be an interaction before an engagement and then a purchase. So when you're able to be visible, that's the only time this can take place. You want to consistently show up. Let people see you in your space of choice, and then you'll get to know your ideal customers. You'll get to know where they can be found. They too will get to know where to find you. And once somebody thinks of something and you come to mind, it means that you have been able to successfully achieve visibility, because you can only come to mind because they have seen you not once, not twice, not three times. They have seen you again and again and again. People cannot know your ideas or what you do unless you tell them. That is where communication comes in. They can't know, for instance, I am a public speaker. No one will know I'm a public speaker if I don't tell them that I'm a public speaker. Remember that when I started this webinar, I started by helping us know exactly what communication is. And we saw that it is the exchange of information through speaking, writing, or other mediums. And in this case, I would want us to stick to speaking. So you need to first of all tell people who you are, what you do, where you can be found, and how you can be found. You need to get to communicate your ideas to your audience because they can't know unless you tell them. So communication, presentation, and public speaking are very related. To be able to communicate effectively to your audience, you need to be able to present your information. Take note, I have just slided from communication to presentation. The webinar is all about how you can use communication, presentation, and public speaking to build your authority and visibility. So first of all, I'm telling you that you can't sell your ideas without talking about it. So you need to be able to talk. Now, after talking, you need to be able to show that what you're talking about is not just theoretical. It's something that is already a work in progress. Even if the work in progress is just in paper for now, but at least it's moving somewhere, and that is where presentation comes in. So you need to be able to present your information clearly. Presentation skills is not all about just using a PowerPoint slides together, like what I'm doing right now, it goes much more than that. It means being able to engage your audience and connecting with your audience to get your message across. So, whatever it is you are saying about yourself needs to be clear enough for all to understand what you represent. Take note of that. Whatever it is you are saying about yourself, whatever it is you are saying about your business, about your brand, it needs to be clear and concise enough so that everyone from any walks of life can understand what you represent. Let me use myself again as an example. Let's say that I tell everyone that I am a public speaker and they've never for once seen me talking to the public. They've never seen me in the public sphere of things handling a speaking engagement. And maybe when they go to my page, all they see me do is make posts of bags or just snap beautiful pictures of myself and post it there. It does not tell anybody anything. So you're a public speaker, they need to see you speak in public. You are a public speaker. So that's why I said message has to be clear enough for all to understand what you represent. Now, to present your ideas, you may need to type it out, possibly depending on what your ideas are. You may need to use graphics to talk about it. Talk about it. Don't underestimate the importance of talking about what it is you want to do, what it is you want people to know you for, and that is where public speaking comes in. You need to be able to publicly speak about your ideas, speak about your brand. You need to be able to do that publicly. Okay, you need to know how to effectively communicate your ideas to a public audience. So now, what exactly can visibility do for you? First of all, when you're visible, it helps you get exposure to a larger audience. Yes, once you are visible, you get exposure to a larger audience. You can't just stay in your house and expect to be visible unless you put yourself out there. Okay, so that's why it's very important for you to have that exposure to a far larger audience than the ones you know. Secondly, visibility helps build your brand awareness. It makes people know about you. People would see maybe they'll see you make a post somewhere on social media and they'll be like, oh, I think I've seen this person make a post about it in another social media platform or something like that. People start getting to be aware of you and your brand. And then it establishes your credibility and expertise. Now, these 3 points, again, are connected. How? Let me break it down. First of all, exposed to a larger audience. This audience, a larger percentage of them will not just sit back and just look at you. As long as what you're being visible for appeals to audience, there are those that would start thinking along the lines of what you are portraying or what you are giving to them. So after getting the audience, people start getting to know about you, about what you do, about what you are saying, you are bringing to the table, as it were. Now they know about you. And 1 person, 2 people, 50 people, 100, 1,000 start getting into the idea of what you do. Maybe they get in contact with you, and at the end of the day, what you say you are is what you actually are. That is when that credibility is there. They know you're accountable. There is a very beautiful thing about being accountable. So once they know that you're credible, you're accountable, and that you're an expert in what you do, you are good to go. And as we continue, we get to see how that builds your authority. So, yes, this is what visibility can do for you. So, this slide says visibility gives you credibility, and in turn, credibility would give you authority. Now, that is where these two again are related. So, I'm trying to see how everything I give you can be married together. When you're visible, people get to know you. They start to notice you, whether on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, wherever. They start to know you. From knowing you, they buy into your idea and see that, of course, what should the idea you're selling to them, the whatever it is you're giving to them, is trustworthy, can be trusted, it's credible. And once you have attained credibility, once you've been able to buy or earn, not you don't buy, you earn the trust of your audience, that will give you authority. Let me give you an illustration. Let us say that I have a friend that sells jewelries. Okay? Now, she on different occasions makes posts about the different types of jewelry that she sells. Maybe in the past, I have fallen into the wrong hands of some people that sell jewelries, and I've gotten fake products. And for that reason, I'm a little bit reluctant about wanting to give in to this person that is, posting pictures or talking about what it is she does. But because she is always online, every time I go online, I see a post about what she does. Every time I go online, I hear her speak about what she does. She posts pictures. Remember, I said that communication doesn't have to be just speaking, it can also be writing, it can be pictures. As long as you're sending a message, you can send your message through pictures, infographics. You can send your message through any medium. So now this person uses different mediums to send a message across that, hey, this is what I do. I decide to say, okay, this person is visible. Let me buy into this idea and see if actually she is worth what she's saying. And then I get one jewelry from her, maybe a ring, maybe an earring, maybe a necklace. And lo and behold, it happens that what she had been saying about herself is true. She wasn't just preaching in futility. Everything she said was true. That credibility is now there. I now trust her. I now know that whenever I want to get jewelry, this is the place to go. I won't even have to start thinking, where should I go? Where should I go? Where should I go? Because this person has shown that she is credible. And now once that has been attained, that person now has authority. So now imagine that I do that, and then 1,000 or 1,000,000 others also follow the same line and find out that this person can be trusted. Her brand can be trusted. She has gained authority in that niche of hers, in that space of hers. She has gained authority. And that is where brand authority that we talked about earlier comes in, when people get to know that when it comes to this, I'd rather go to A than go to B, because I'm sure that A will give me exactly what I want. So that is what that illustration is beautifully portrayed in this write-up or in this quote, that visibility gives you credibility and credibility gives you authority. Now, let's look at the importance of all these points that I've been talking about. Importance of communication and public speaking in building authority and visibility. The importance of communication and public speaking in building authority and visibility. Mind you, please, that I keep on making illustrations of a person selling. You don't have to build authority and visibility only if you are selling things like jewelry that I mentioned, okay, commodities. No. As long as you have a business, whatever it is, like my business is public speaking, it's teaching, it's lecturing. But that does not mean that I don't have to build authority, because I'm sure if that authority and visibility was not there, I won't be here today with you. So it doesn't matter what it is you do, as long as you are a brand, then you need to build authority and visibility. But now the question is how? How can you increase your visibility? How can you increase your authority? First of all, you need to take the time to network. What do I mean? Don't stay in your comfort zone. Spread the tentacles. Connect. Look for people that are either in your field, people that are out of your line of business. Connect with them. There are different avenues you can actually get to connect with people. We have social media. Okay, so use the different forms of social media platforms to create a network. That is how you can become visible. So take out your time to network. And then when you have created a connection or a bond via networking, then follow up on what you have created. It's hard work, but yes, it pays. So don't just say, okay, so now I have done the network and I've been able to get these people, and then let's just I've tried. People now know me. Okay, so they know you, yes. What's the next thing to do? Follow up. Follow up on the contact you have gotten. Follow up on the pages you are now part of. That is a way to make sure that your visibility is sustained, because you can be seen today and not seen tomorrow. Your being seen and remaining seen is totally in your hands. Yes, it's one thing to be seen, it's another thing to remain seen. What do I mean? It's one thing to get visible, and it's another thing to sustain your visibility. If you can't sustain it, why did you even make the effort? Why did you even try? So yes, when you have done all you need to do to network, sustain it, follow up, because you will need them at a point. At that point where you need to sell your business to them, you need to sell your brand to them, you need to sell your ideas to them, you will need those connections. You will need that network that you were able to consistently sustain, and they too will need you once you have been visible. The next one will be to create interesting content. Create your content. Good content will form or inform potential clients what you do. I'll take that again. Good content will inform your potential client about what you do. It will showcase your expertise and it will build trust among your community. So, yes, you need to be able to create interesting content. Now, content can take many forms. So, it's now left for you to do your research and know exactly what kind of content will appeal to your kind of audience. That is really important. Know the kind of content that would appeal to your kind of audience, which is why this point says create not just content, but interesting content. Now, your content needs to be created based on where your strengths lie. Don't go creating content on your weak points. What do I mean? I'm a public speaker. I don't know how to dance. I don't know how to make skits or short, funny videos. I don't know how to be a comedian. And because I want to create content, I decide to veer into comedy or veer into dancing or veer into something else that does not in any way even connect to what I want my audience to know about me. As long as that is not my strong point, I won't be able to sustain it. So while you are creating your interesting content, make sure that it is where your strength lies, okay? And in what interests you the most. Because if you are not interested in what you're doing, then at a point, everything will die. Everything you've been trying so hard to build will just get destroyed. So make sure that you have an interest in what you are doing. And while you're also looking for how to find something that you're interested in, make sure too that your audience will be interested in what you are doing. Because if your version of interesting content is not interesting to your audience, then you're wasting your time. Sorry to say that, because what you are doing is not necessarily for you, but for your audience. So what you are doing is interesting, and how can you know? You can decide to use a trial and fail method. You can decide to go organic and use a trial and fail method of doing one thing, and if you don't take it well, you switch to another thing. You don't take it well, you go to another thing. But to me, I would say that while that is okay, it's a little tedious. Why not create a pool? When you go to Facebook or to different social media platforms, sorry, I like using Facebook because that's where my audience, that's where I find my audience. So when you go to your different social media platforms of choice, there are different ways you can create a pool. Then put in your different ideas and see which one your audience would veer towards. And once you see the one that that has the highest number of polls, then you know that that is what you need to do to give your audience what they need. And by doing that, it shows you're not selfish, that as much as you are interested in what you want to do, you are also interested in what will appeal to your audience. You can also polish things off by using things like videos, short videos, slideshows, pictures that educate, that's your infographics, okay, to create your. So it's not everyday typed post. At the point it gets boring. It's not everyday video. At the point you get tired. And it's not everyday pictures. So mix it up and make it interesting for those that would come in to check out what you do from your page. The next thing you need to do to build and increase your visibility is to grow your social presence. Grow your social presence. Believe me, you can't just do it by going on the street or by just being in one place. social media helps a lot. Social media sites can be very helpful in making new connections. Okay, making new connections, it helps you engage with an audience that may include future clients. And so when you are on the quest to build or grow your social presence, you need to consider how best to use each platform and which of this platform will be of most use to your particular kind of business. Now, when you've seen which platform will work best for you and gives you the most audience, stick to it. Stick to it. Let people know that if they come to Facebook, they'll see you. They'll see what you do. They'll see you present yourself to them. Not I'm thinking, I want to search about Ruth EKIKO. Should I go to Facebook? I go to Facebook, I don't really see what I need. Should I go to Instagram? I go there and it's almost empty. Should I go to LinkedIn? Oh, that's the worst. You don't even have any content there, but you're just everywhere. It's best to be in one place that everybody knows you for, than to be everywhere and they can't get exactly what they need from you. So while you are growing your social presence, look for the social media platform that works best for you, that gives you the most audience, and then stick to it. Point 4 is the best point for me. Be consistent. I can't overemphasize this point. Be consistent. Believe me, it helps. It really helps. You need to be consistent. If it starts today and you stop tomorrow, everything dies when you stop. But it grows when you continue and you're consistent. It's just like see your brand as a flower that you're trying to make it grow. If you stop watering your flower, what will happen to it? Die. But if you keep on watering your flower, not just every week, but depending on the kind of plant, if it needs to be watered every day, you try doing it every day. If it needs to be watered every week, you do it every week, but you are consistent. That plant will grow. So water your business, water your brand, water yourself. Be consistent. And if you are, of course, I can assure you of this one, you will increase your visibility. Then apart from being consistent, you need to look for new opportunities. Get out of your comfort zone. Don't just sit in one place. No, it doesn't work that way. While it's important the same face, the familiar faces to see you, while it's okay to have familiar audience, you need to, as I said earlier, spread the tentacles. Look for new opportunities. Okay? Let others also get to hear from you. Let others also get to see you. And how can they do this? If you also look for ways to, where you can have exposure to new audiences. It may be helping a person with a task. It may be doing some volunteer work. But whatever it is you need to do to get new audiences, then please, by all means, go for it. Go for it. Then you need to create a visibility plan. Create a visibility plan. Remember when we started, I told you that your visibility is like a market plan that helps you know exactly what you want and how to go for what you want. So you need to create a visibility plan. And now how can you do that? First of all, we have the what, where, who, and how. Your visibility plan should be able to cover what? What? Remember, visibility plan helps you know exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. And there is no authority without visibility. There is no authority without visibility. You need to be seen before you are trusted. So now, what is the what? Identify your niche. Know what exactly it is you want to do. Know which is your strongest point. What is that thing that if anybody calls you to do now, you will be able to do it? Identify that thing and then stick to it. Of course, you are free to have different niches. You're very free to do so. But there should be one that people will know you for. There just needs to be one. So identify that one thing, and even while you are doing other things at the side, stick to that one thing. Now, where? Now you have identified what you want to do. For instance, for me, I had to identify that what I love doing is public speaking. It's teaching people how to speak the English language correctly. And so I identified that niche and I stuck to it rather. Now I had to look for where my audience can be found. So look for where your audience can be found. Before even looking for where your audience can be found, you need to even know who will your audience be. Who do you want to attract? You can't attract everyone because not everyone will need what you have to offer. So go for those that need you. Go for those that need you. Determine the types of people you want to attract to your brand. It mustn't be everyone. No, it really must not be everyone. But then there will always be those people that need you. And those are the kinds of people you also need. So now, after being able to identify this kind of people you want to attract, then you need to find where they are. So you want to teach people how to overcome public speaking fear. And then you go to the market. I mean, of course, we have people that talk in the market, but that's not exactly the kind of audience you need. Okay? So go to where you know people value what you have to offer. And then when you have found them, determine how you will show up and attract them. Because while you want to know the kinds of people you want to attract, you also need to make yourself and your brand attractive enough. So determine how you will show up and how you will attract your audience. Will it be through videos? Will it be through free seminars? Will it be through free sessions with them or paid sessions or whatever? However it is, you know you need to attract your audience, go for it. Just identify how and then go for it. So these are the very important points of how you can create a visibility plan. Identify your niche and stick to it. Determine the type you want to attract. Determine where your audience can be found, and then determine how you will show up and attract your audience. And that will be it on how to build authority and visibility through presentation, and public speaking. You need to know how to carefully mix these three parts of speaking to attract your audience, to be seen, and finally, to be known. Thank you.
Wow, really wonderful, Ruth Ekiko. The way you explained everything, I really enjoyed your this wonderful session. I love the way you started from what is communication, what is presentation, what is public speaking. The way you actually make the distinction between them was a wonderful idea, and I loved it. The way you built the slides and the content was so simple but yet so powerful. I really enjoyed it, and I like the way you have given the different phrases, which was very nice. Visibility leads to the credibility, and credibility leads to the authority. And above everything, I love the 6 points of yours, which was about how to increase your visibility. Very nice and wonderful points, and followed by wonderful explanation, which you have given is so great. And I love another one of your analogy of when you were talking about the be consistent, that if you stop watering to your flower, how can you expect them to grow? And how if you stop watering to your business and anything else? So really that was the great thing, and I really enjoy each and every phrases, every sentences, followed by wonderful your experiences and recommendation. So you were connecting the different dots in a wonderful way. So really, you are a great speaker, and above everything, your voice, your tone, and way of communication is so brilliant, so great. Thank you very much for sharing your wonderful
Thank
knowledge with
you.
us. Mm, I hope this will be a great help to the our audience around the globe.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Haider. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you allow me, could we start with the first question, please?
Sure. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So the first question they want to ask that first they would like to comment that thank you very much for such a elaborative session and explaining each and every point very nicely. And now they want to ask that please share your experience. How do you measure communication skills? What things you look for in a better communication? How do you gauge communication skills? Yes, please.
That is a very nice question. How do you gauge communication skills? How do you gauge? Now, I will have to use a personal experience. Okay. It's one thing to talk. I keep telling my clients, don't be a talker, be a speaker. You can always talk without
Oh,
making any
very
sense,
nice.
or without your audience getting exactly what they need to get from you. But speak. When you speak, it means you are clear. When you speak, it means you've given thought to what you want to talk about before speaking about it. So there's a difference between talking and speaking in communication. And I really want you to stick to speaking. When you learn to speak effectively, then you will be able to communicate effectively. So, first, learn how to be a good speaker. One thing that can help you to do that is don't just hear to answer. After hearing, take the time to process what you've heard before going ahead to give an answer. And if you can do that, I can assure you that the person you're giving an answer to would say that, yes, you've been able to effectively communicate what it is you wanted to say. So don't just be a talker, be a speaker.
Very nice. Again, really, I'm enjoying the way you are giving the different analogies and you are explaining with the powerful explanation, and you are explaining it with a wonderful combining the different dots in a way that it makes easy for our audience to understand it. I love your phrase, "Don't be a talker, and you must know the speak," and that would lead to the communication. So very nicely you have connected the different dots. There is one another question I think that is very important, and they want to ask that, ma'am, please can you tell us what skills among the soft skills are the life skills you consider as must be requirement for individual and for the growing organizations as well? So, which skills do you recommend the most nowadays? Yes, please.
For soft skills, thanks for the question. Soft skills, I would say public speaking is a skill that is really underrated. We should not make the mistake get to open up, paint yourself in white and black and in all the different colors you can paint yourself in. It's the only way you can pitch your ideas. Public speaking is one of the beautiful ways you can pitch your ideas. So, of all the soft skills you can think of all the tech skills you can think of, add public speaking to it. It's the one that have worked best for me in all my years of experience.
Wow. Wonderful. Once again, very nice and amazing answer to this question. And now, ma'am, we have the two questions, and which is very important. And they want to ask the first part of the question regarding which you have mentioned in your presentation as well, the role of the social media. They want to ask that how does phone texting affect the written and communication skills of a student? I think that's very important because of the cell phone. We write the short text and the shorthands, which actually leads to the written skills of the student. And the second question they want to ask that how do you see the role of social media in the building the authority and visibility, since it is very difficult to make the your visibility in true sense. Yes, please.
Okay, so Dr. Haider, could you please repeat the first question about text messaging?
Yeah, the text messaging, they want to ask that what is your opinion? How does phone texting affect the written and communication skills for students?
Okay, how does phone texting affect the written and communication skills of students?
Yes, yes.
So, phone texting is good. And as I said earlier when I started, I defined communication as being able to exchange information or impart information through speaking, writing, or other mediums. So text messaging can come in under either the writing or other mediums. So of course, it is important. Text messaging is important, but then it's not in all spheres or all schemes of things that you will use text messaging. There are other times when nobody will have the time to stop and read what you have to say, but they may have the time to listen to you for 1 minute. Because, I mean, the world where we live in right now, everyone is busy. People don't really have the time to want to pick up their phones. Important, they'll listen to you. So while you are honing or harnessing your text messaging skills, don't forget to also really focus on your communication skills, because in the world we find ourselves right now, people want to see you talk. And when they see you talk, you gain their trust better than if they're just reading something about you.
Yes. Very nice, wonderful. And thank you very much for such an amazing answer once again. The way you are explaining the things is quite nice. And now they are asking one another question, which is, I think, a very important one. The question is, ma'am, please share your experience, or please give us the question. How can we learn from the online teaching platform regarding the speech and communication? Any recommendation for the people to learn online, and how can they interact with you for your guidance and suggestions?
Yeah, sure. Sure. There are lots of avenues you can get to learn. You can get to learn that online. You can, let me use myself. So this is where I am visible now, and I want to use this public speaking platform to sell myself to you. So you can learn a lot by going through my page on social media. And as I said during the webinar, Facebook. Facebook is where I have my audience and I connect to my audience. So Ruth EKIKO, that's just the name on your screen. You type that name in on Facebook and you're going to learn a lot. And then I
Yeah.
think on YouTube, I'm also there. So just follow me, and you will learn. I think someone asked a question before about the role of social media in communication.
Yes, please. How do you see the role of the social media in visibility and to show the true essence of the people? Yes, please.
Thank you. Social media and visibility are like best friends. They
Wow.
should be able to
Again,
go
wonderful
hand
analogy.
in hand.
Yes.
They should be able to go hand in hand. So if you talk social media, you should be talking visibility. And for that to happen, it's not just about logging in on Facebook and whoa, you're visible. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to work to build your visibility even when even when you have an account. It does not end at having an account. Put your ideas out there. We have the different parts where you can always promote your brand, promote your business, promote your posts on different social media platforms. Make use of them. Once you've promoted, people will get to see you. So there is a clean connection between social media and visibility. Let me tell you, if you want to be visible, try social media and you will get the visibility that you want.
Wow, wonderful. I would say that Ruth Ekiko, you are a wonderful speaker and wonderful narrator. And I would say that the wonderful explanation and powerful content which you shared with our audience around the globe is so great. I'm really enjoying this session, but since we have the time constraint, please tell us about your concluding remarks. And at the end of the session, we ask each our guest, what is your message to the world? So, what is your message to the world as a teacher, trainer, learner, professional, and educator? Yes, please.
Okay, so all I have to say is first of all, thank you for having me on this platform where I get to do my passion and do my thing and educate thousands of people out there on the importance of building visibility and authority through speaking. So, all I have to say to you is this: don't stop speaking. If you have the idea, talk about it, speak about it, do not hide it. And once you've spoken and you've gotten the visibility, make sure that you are trustworthy. And if you are, then the sky is more than your limits. I mean, you're going to get to all the places you need to get once you have been visible. So be seen, be heard, and grow. That's all I can say for now.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you very much. It's really, we had a pleasure to have you with us in this session. And what a nice message you have given to the world that not only speak, but also build the credibility and trustworthiness. And then you can have a wonderful achievement in the life because you are not only beneficial to yourself, you are beneficial to the rest of the world, and you can make this world a better place. Really, you have squeezed the ocean to a drop, and I really enjoyed this session with you. To the audience, please do follow our distinguished guest speaker through her work, and you can email her for future learning and guidance. We will be providing her credentials and the different page links for you people so that you can easily contact with her for future learning and guidance. She is very generous and always ready to help the people. Moreover, wonderful explanation and powerful content which the great speaker has already elaborated will help you to learn and develop your understanding regarding these communication skills and what how can we enhance our visibility. So that's all we have time for today. Thank you once again to Ruth EKIKO for your wonderful presentation and sharing wonderful your knowledge. And
Thank
if you have any additional question about the information shared today, please email us or connect to the speaker directly through her email or social media account. Thank you all for your support and liking our sessions. Stay tuned as many sessions are on the way. Please do not miss any session. Until next session,